Is it on? Okay. Okay, sorry, so I'll just start from the beginning again. um, disruption is nothing new. It's a part of our everyday life, as you've just witnessed. um, in my lifetime alone, I've experienced many disruptions, from Microsoft Windows, cell phones, to 3D printing. Change is a constant in our lives, but we are now facing rapid changes. Environmental impact assessment is a predictive tool that is used to anticipate potential negative and positive impacts associated with change or disruptions, if you will. Now, disruptions is not necessarily a bad thing, as the word would suggest. These so-called disruptive industries cause dramatic changes that are driven by innovation. These new industries will play a major role in growing the economy and improving human life. It's therefore necessary for us to reflect on what EIA is achieving, in other words, its effectiveness, and that is basically the objective for my research. Numerous dimensions of effectiveness has been conceptualized. I will look at procedural, the actual practices, substantive, the influence that EIA has on decision-making and the mitigation of negative impacts, transactive, looking at the temporal and financial costs, and then lastly, the legitimacy of the process. So considering this multidimensional nature of EIA effectiveness, what lessons can we learn from renewable energy as a disruptive industry? In South Africa, we have seen an impressive growth of renewable energy in recent years. So we therefore argue that there's valuable lessons to be learned from this industry. These include, 1, we need to embrace change and move beyond the familiar. In other words, legal compliance and just checking the boxes. We need a stronger focus on international best practice and discretionary decision-making. 2, EIA will need to deal with inherent uncertainties. We need a clear vision of exactly what is acceptable, early involvement of impact assessment and stakeholders. And then 3, the need for efficiency has never been greater. We need to reduce green tape without compromising quality, build skills, and maximize the use of existing information. So in conclusion, the current evaluation of EIA effectiveness is limited. We need a more thoughtful, in-depth analysis that spans across multiple dimensions of effectiveness. And there's certain key ingredients, as you can see in the last illustration, that will ensure not only the effectiveness of the EIA process, but also its legitimacy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there any questions? The back.
Thank you, Carli. So you've talked about renewable energy as a disruptive industry, but what other industries could your research potentially inform?
So I think the point that I'm trying to make is that disruption is here and it's only going to increase. We're on the brink of the 5th industrial revolution. I think we're going to see some exciting new innovations in the waste sector, waste to energy, agricultural, just radical resource capacity and how we deal with our resources, aquaculture, space travel. So I think EIA as a tool will need to deal with these rapid changes and ensure sustainable development going forward while dealing with these great new innovations that will happen very fast.
Thank you.
Thank you.